So as you've just seen, the man who's confessed to killing a pregnant Tshegofatso Pule is spilling the beans in the High Court in Johannesburg. Malipane is currently testifying against Shoba, who's on trial for allegedly masterminding Pule's killing in 2020. Malipane yesterday revealed details of the conversation he had with Shoba in preparation for Tshegofatso's murder. Shoba's defense, though, is trying to prove Malipane is a liar. Now, Pule's uncle, Tumisang Katake, has been following court proceedings since Malipane was first arrested a year and a half ago. He joins us live from court to discuss the trial so far. Tumisang, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it. We know it must be a very tough time for you and the rest of Tshego's family. How are you guys, how are you processing the immense load that you're having to deal with day in, day out as this trial continues?
Good morning, Tapfuma, and to the viewers. Thanks for this opportunity. I'm not going to lie to you, it's difficult. Psychologically, emotionally, it's taxing. I did say before that even though we wanted this day to come, but psychologically or emotionally, I don't think we were ready, especially considering the revelations that has been made at court up to this point. It's a difficult process to go through. For 2 days, my aunt hasn't been following proceedings wholly. Understandably so, because she was overwhelmed with emotions. I don't think any person would be normal to hear how their child were actually murdered. Even the planning surrounding how that they should occur.
Yeah, the secondary trauma is, I'm sure, unbearable for the entire family. We've been listening to a report from Slindile Masekane on the proceedings so far, and Malipane has been on the stand. What have you made of his testimony? Of course, the defense, his attorneys, trying to paint him as unreliable and a liar. What do you think of him as a witness so far? Have they managed to sow doubt?
I'll be honest with you. I don't think I'm faced with what the defense is trying to do with Mr. Malipane. I am not moved by whether he was acquaintances with Mr. Shoba or they were friends. I am not moved by poking holes with the first statement as well as the guilty plea that he provided to court and the differences thereof. I think up to this point, he has stuck to his guns about how Tshegofatso was killed and then who actually contracted him to do that.
There have been quite a few revelations in the trial so far. We've heard testimony from Tshego's old friend Tsepiso, from her cousin Balisa. Do you think the state has been successful in establishing the elements of criminal liability in terms of Shoba?
Yeah, I think if you have been following the proceedings up to this point, you would realize there were certain points that have been corroborating each other. So I still have faith in the strength of the state's case. That's why I was saying to you, even with regards to the revelation that Mr. Malipane has made, I'm not moved when the defense is trying to poke holes in his testimony. So far, I think the state is on the right track.
Tumisang, thank you so much for taking the time to speak to us. Really appreciate it. We know it's a really tough time for you and your family, and we wish you all of the strength in the world. Tshegofatso Pule's uncle Tumisang Katake speaking to us on Newslink. It must be difficult for this family, I can only imagine.
I mean, I don't know about you, but when you were interviewing Mr. Katake, Tshegofatso's uncle, I felt the pain was being held in his chest, the way he was breathing, and I could just almost feel the emotion was just sitting here, and it was actually quite painful to watch.
Very brave of him to come on and share that with us. We
Thanks
appreciate
so much.
Coming up.